So you were in New York and like you were on the scene and you were doing drag. So how do you go from that? How does Drag Race come about for you? And we're going to get to your new music and I have so much current stuff to talk to you about, but I like to just.
Gorgeous. No, yeah. I mean, Drag Race. I've been doing drag for about 10 years. By the time Drag Race came on for the season one, and they were initially before the show filmed. They were asking a lot of the queens in the clubs who's interested in trying this out. A very different situation than what it's like now. And they asked me if I wanted to do it, but I didn't know what it was. And so I said no, because I really pictured, basically, I guess I was scarred from shows like Jerry Springer, where, you would see a drag queen or a trans woman on the show and on any of those shows. And they never really, it was always the audience poking, they were always the joke, the butt of the joke. It was never empowering. And so there weren't any examples of shows that had queer people owning their space the way that they do on Drag Race. And so I was like, this is going to be embarrassing, not good. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to be seen out of drag. I hadn't started my medical transition and I just didn't feel safe to do it. And so it was a hard no for me. And, because I was like, I can't be on camera and national camera, like arguing and throwing drinks at each other. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be, and that's pretty much what it is. But
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. And so, but I decided to not do it, obviously. And I kept going with my career. And I really poured my heart and soul into my drag career because I was working as an entertainer only in New York City, which is a huge accomplishment for anybody that's ever tried to pay rent in New York City. And then after, working for a few years and finally getting my own shows, I was able to perform overseas and travel. I felt like I was living the high life as a queen and a drag entertainer. And so I felt at the next point, I don't need Drag Race for my drag career. Ironically, I needed Drag Race for my medical transition because I was floating, but I didn't really have enough money to really achieve a lot. And so before Obamacare became a thing, because even though Obama was in 2008, the Affordable Care Act took quite a while to get to us, and then to work its way down into like New York City. But once it finally did, the governor mandated that all transgender-related healthcare needed to be covered by health insurance, and that was like music to my ears. And so initially, when I started auditioning for Drag Race, I did it with the focus of I just need to just do this show so that I can get the coins that I need and want to have a better life, including my medical transition. And that was my focus. But then when I was able to get insurance and didn't need Drag Race for my medical transition, I started my medical transition. And then I was like, I don't really care. Here's this tape. I'm just going to do it because I already prepared it. And then I'm going to put it, and literally in the tape, I was like, you could just tell I didn't give a hell in that tape. I was like, hey, I'm Peppermint. Maybe you'll put me on, maybe you won't. Okay, bye. And that's when they put me on.